Hello everyone, today I will present a recent BBC news story about a controversial proposal by US President Donald Trump, who announced plans to impose 100% tariff on films made outside the United States, a decision that has sent a shockwave through the global film industry. Trump said on Sunday that he had authorized the US Commerce Department to start imposing this tariff because, in his view, America's film industry is dying a very fast death. He believes that the movement of film production overseas is harming Hollywood and costing America's jobs. However, on Monday he appeared to be softened his stance when he told reporters at the White House that he would meet with Hollywood executives to discuss the proposal and make sure they are happy with it. This suggests the plans is still under discussion. For many years, filmmakers have been leaving Hollywood to produce movies in countries like the UK, Canada, where costs are lower and governments offer tax incentive. Trump argues that this trend has weakened the US film industries and led to the job losses at home. On his Truth Social platform, Trump called foreign films messaging and propaganda and strongly declared, "We want movies made in America again," showing his desire to bring film production back to the US. After the announcement, US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said, "We are on it," indicating that the government is actively exploring the proposal, although many important details remains unclear. One major question is whether this tariff would apply to American studios that produce films overseas, since many recent hits like Deadpool and Wolverine, Wicked and Gladiator 2 were filmed outside the US. It is also unknown whether the tariff would cover films shown only in cinemas or if they would also include movies released on streaming platforms like Netflix. How the tariff would be calculated is still a mystery. So, Timothy Richards, founder of the European cinema Cinvu, raised question about how the government would define a US film. Would it depend on where the money comes from? Who wrote the script? The director, the actors, or the filming location? He also explained that rising production costs in Southern California have encouraged filmmakers to move their work to countries like the UK, offer not only lower costs but also highly skilled production crews, making these places attractive for film projects. Meanwhile, the UK Media Union bet to one that the tariff could deliver a knockout blow to the industry and its 1,000 freelancers, especially as the sector is still recovering from the pandemic recent slowdowns. Filipina Chats, but to General Secretary urged the UK government to act quickly to protect the industry and support freelancers, calling it essential for the country's economy. The UK government responded that it remains absolutely committed to helping the film sectors thrive to create jobs, while saying it is the continuing trade talks with the US, though it avoided commenting on specific progress publicity. The British Film Institute said it is working with the UK, US government and the industry partners to understand the proposal, emphasizing that international collaboration remains a priority. Although the US is still a global leader in film production, spending has declined in recent years. Critics like NPR's Eric Diggins warns that tariff could backfire by prompting other countries to retaliate with their own taxes on American films, which might hurt profits. Trump has used tariff broadly as part of his economic policy since returning to office, claiming they protect American jobs, but critics argue his policies have disrupted trade and raised prices worldwide. For example, China recently reduced the number of American films allowed into its market in response to US trade tension. In conclusion, the BBC article reveals that President Trump's 100% tariff on foreign-made film aimed to revive Hollywood and protect US jobs. The lack of clear details and the complex global nature of modern filmmaking have raised widespread concern among international films communities. That's all for me. Thank you.